There is a feature in Standard Time that allows you to lock timesheets. And there's typically three reasons for that. The first is that if you're billing time to clients, you would like to lock timesheets that have already been billed. Because if an employee goes back to an older timesheet and puts some hours in or changes them thinking that that's going to affect billing, after the billing has already occurred, then that time can be forgotten. The same thing is true when you're paying employees based on the hours in their timesheet. If they go back to a previous time period that has already been paid, or they've been paid for those hours, and then they go and add some more hours thinking that they'll be paid for those, they would be mistaken because they've already been paid. And so that time can be forgotten. The third reason might be when they submit a timesheet for approval. You can see the button down below here at the bottom of the timesheet. If they submit time for approval, sometimes managers like to lock the timesheet at that time so that they can no longer make changes. So I'm going to show you how to lock timesheets and how to see when they're locked. What I'm going to do is go over to some users here. Let's just click on Warren. Go back to last week. You can see some icons over here on the left that indicate that the timesheet has been submitted and locked. As it turns out, this is configured to do that automatically. So whenever they submit their timesheets, it automatically locks it. And if you go to make changes, you cannot make changes. So we can attempt to make a change here. You get a dialog box that pops up and says the time cannot be changed. It gives the lock periods and the time that they're trying to change. And in this case, I can bypass the lock because I'm an administrator, but normal employees cannot. So they would just have a cancel button and they would not be able to proceed. So that is an example of a locked timesheet that occurred when they clicked the submit for approval. Now you can also purposely lock them manually, and you would do that by going to the Tools menu, choose Approve Time and Expenses, and there is a button here that says Lock Date Range. So we're going to go ahead and click that. The dialog box pops up. Let's go ahead and create a lock, assuming this would be a pay period from the 1st to the 15th. We're going to lock it for all users and all projects. Click the button here, and we see the new lock show up there. And this represents the 1st to the 15th. Now this is going to lock it for all users. No one will be able to change any time during that date range. So go ahead and close here, close there. Let's remove the filtering so I'm looking at my own timesheet and go back to a time period that would be locked. So this is the 15th. Try to type in some time, and again we get this. So because I'm an administrator, I can bypass that, but normal employees cannot. So that is what happens when you lock down a time period so that users cannot change the time. Let's go back to Tools, Approve Time and Expenses, and let's look at the Approve Date Range button. This is a little off topic, but you'll see that you have the ability to lock here as well. This dialog box is intended for looking at the list of users that have submitted their timesheets. And you can approve those time and expenses for those timesheets. Now this is an optional feature. You do not have to use it. You do not have to submit timesheets. But if you have a company policy that where you want employees to do that, you can see a list of all the employees that have submitted their timesheets. In this case, it's Buzz and Warren that have submitted their timesheets. Other people have hours in their timesheet, but they've not submitted. Okay, so that's just clicking this button that you see down at the bottom of the timesheet. You then can go in and click these buttons to approve the time and expenses or reject. Now, I talked about before the product is configured to automatically lock, which you see over here, the timesheets for employees when they submit. And so I just wanted to show you that. You can uncheck this and allow employees to go back in and change their time. But that gives you an overview of locking timesheets. And this is the results that you get.